Hi everyone, this is Natasha and this is Friday Funbits. I know it's been a long time, so I figured I had posed a question on my daily vlogs to see if anybody is interested in seeing Friday Funbits, and I did get a lot of comments back, both private messages on YouTube as well as comments on the videos, that yes, please. So I think I'm going to resurrect Friday Funbits and I'm going to utilize it to finish projects. So finally finishing Friday Funbits. How about that? That's a mouthful. So what you see in front of you is I had shown a sneak peek and a teaser of a little booklet that I'm going to make that's going to be bound, that I'm going to keep all these really funny or poignant fortune cookie sayings that I have a tendency to save. I don't save every single one. The ones that are like super goofy, we laugh and toss them out, but some of them are just really, I don't know, bring a smile to my face. So I thought I would put them all together in a little booklet. So what I started out with is this particular die, and this is from Lifestyle Crafts, and I'll put all of the recipe information on my blog, so there'll be a link below and it'll have all the links to the products if they're still available. I'm pretty sure this is still available directly from Lifestyle Crafts. You can always check your local scrapbooking store. I'm not sure whether they're in big box stores, but I know that you can order from them online. I did, and I ordered online from them when they had 40% off sale. So I got this, I think it's called Notebook, but don't hold me to it. So again, once I post the blog post with the recipe for this project, I will have all the links directly, if available, to the manufacturer or where you can source them. Mostly stateside, unfortunately. So I use the smallest one, which is this little one. And let me just grab my trusty little ruler to see just how big that is for reference for you. It is a little more than 2.5 by 1.5 inches, and again it comes in 3 different sizes. So I cut that out of my favorite craft. Those of you know I'm definitely partial to craft paper. It's utilitarian and I love that, and then having something embellished that's utilitarian, to me it's kind of like the icing on the cake. So what you see here is the front and back covers, and because this is a thin die, it does not cut through medium weight chipboard, but I made chipboard out of it, listen, by gluing 3 layers. So I have 3 layers in the front, 3 layers in the back, and then I also cut a separate layer of just the cardstock, and I ran it through this Cuttlebug folder, and I believe it's from an Asian set. It's, you can see the flowers, they're very pretty. So I just ran that through, but I only ran through up to where the holes are. And the way I did that, because you can't put the paper on the side, I ran it through my Cuttlebug, it would have been too wide. I just placed it at the very end like this, and that allowed the holes to be free of the embossing, the dry embossing. So that's what that looks like. And I could run chalk over this if I want this to pop, but I really like the way that looks right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this directly on top of the cover and then embellish the cover. So I'll have texture without getting my fingers dirty with any paint or anything like that. The inside pages I cut out of watercolor paper, and it's a nice heavy, I think, oh, it's definitely heavier. Where did it go? It's definitely heavier than 110-pound weight, but for the life of me I don't remember what it is. I picked up a pack of watercolor paper from my local junk store, Lots and More. So if I find the cover, I may have used up all of this. If I find the cover, that will also be listed in the project details. So I have my cover and my covers, so I need to glue this on, and then I have the insides, which is what I'm going to add my little fortune cookie sayings to, but they're just a smidgen too long, as they come if I want to glue them across this way. Of course, I could do it this way as well. So I decided that I'm just going to trim them up. So this one I trimmed up and it fits quite nicely. So I can get two page on each side, so 4 to one of these little sheets. And I figure, I think I cut 15 of these. So I have plenty to kind of store, and what I'll do is I will go through and put like kind of sayings together, or I don't know, maybe just randomly, and then I'll have something to motivate myself. And then I've pulled out a couple of embellishment items to use on the cover as well. These tiny little 10mm open roses for Wild Orchid Crafts. I also pulled out some of these green and cream leaves, also from Wild Orchid Crafts. I have a couple of tiny little banners if I want to have anything else dimensionally. And I believe these are Stephanie Bernard's little die cuts, and I did crimp them. I ran through the crimper, and that's right over here. I just have it in my drawer, desk drawer knob. Pull, it sits there. And then I have a tiny little mirror I may or may not use, and we'll see what kind of, how it kind of comes together. So off camera I'm going to glue this on and trim up all of these little fortunes, and we'll get going on putting this together. Okay, what have I done so far? I've attached the embellished or the embossed layer, so this is a nice and thick cover. I've pulled out some embellishments that I'd like to use, so I've typed out with my Dymo labeler, which I keep in a little Rocher recycled box. I've typed out "Wish Me Luck." I've also cut out, using this tiny little Stephanie Bernard banner, a couple of pieces of craft, which I think I'm going to layer underneath the words. And now let's see, let me zoom in so you could see more of my desktop closer. Okay, how about that? I've also cut out this adorable little silver doily using duct work tape from the hardware store, and this MFT mini, I think it's a pack of 4 different designs. I think they're called, see, I haven't labeled them yet, I need to label them, mini doilies. I've shared them recently in a haul, so I wanted to use them as well. So let's see kind of what we could use to layer stuff up. Now, because I'm working with such small pieces, I'm definitely going to need to use my tweezers. So they're going to come in very handy. You want to make sure they're not sticky. Good contact. Okay, so I have, do I need to put in a little something lighter in the background for you? There you go. So I have my cover, and I want to embellish it before I attach everything. It's going to be easiest to work with. Oh, I also pulled out my Tim Holtz wishbones, which I thought would be kind of cute to use on this because it's Wish Me Luck. So I have this. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not yet, but I'm going to layer things up and see how they kind of come together. I also have this little punch out, also out of craft paper. I think that's a Martha Stewart punch. Now let's see. I'm going to put the larger flower right there, and maybe the mirror right here. Again, I'm working with a really small space, but that's why I'm using such tiny little pieces, little embellishments. So this is the 10mm, and I left the stem on, and I just wound it around the tip of my pokey tool, because I want to leave the little bit of green. I don't want it to be totally monochromatic. I want a little bit of, so I have texture, I have color. Maybe put this one over here. I have my hot glue gun warming up. Let's see, wishbone. Right there. And then each of the words will be like this. need to move this over just ever so slightly. I don't want to go into where the binding is going to be, but I could certainly overlap. And I think I might elevate some of these, and I don't mind if it goes over the edge. I'm not going to be writing in this, I'm just going to be attaching the little sayings, and I might trim one of these down. Wish me. You know what, I might put the wishbone on last. And I'll make this tighter once, you know, for gluing purposes. I'm just kind of auditioning them for the space. Wish me luck. And I'll attach these all separately and then put that on this way. What do you think? Let me zoom in so you can see even closer. I think I like that composition. I'll definitely make this a little tighter, and yeah, I like that. Is it too busy? That's right. What I think I'll do, because this is self-adhesive, I'm going to trim that off after I attach it. So I'll be right back once I've attached everything so we can get to the next step. Okay, so I have everything attached. See, it's all on. A little mirror, I got my little wishbone. The Wish Me Luck is just ever so gently popped up on like 1/8 inch dimensional foam. So it has a little sparkle, it has a little shine, it has that craft that I love. So I have a couple of tips for you. Because these pieces were so small and I trimmed them down, that lead little pull tab that is created when you use your Dymo labeler was cut off. So the only way you can get it off is I take a sharp item like my little pokey tool and I scrape across the adhesive on the this Dymo adhesive on the back, and that really helps it come off. And then the other tip is this little flag that I used was a little too long for the me. As you could see, it's much shorter now, but I wanted to have both tails, and I did decide to kind of keep everything closer off the edge, and this I just wrapped over instead of cutting it so there wouldn't be any loose pieces here. So the way that I did this is I just cut out the center little tab or a little piece out of the center, and then because this was adhesive, I just attached each end underneath. So that's it for the cover. So now I'm going to add each of the little fortunes to my filler sheets, and then pick out the binding. I think I have black binding, but it'd be cool if it was, I can use either black or silver. So I'll pick out which one to use and how big a rings I need. So that's it. It's all done. I've attached each of the fortune cookie words, sayings with the red line tape. I want it to be sturdy. And a little trick to this, if you find that there's too much static on the removal piece, just rub it in old or an already used piece of fabric softener sheet, and that takes care of it. So, and I did attach it with my Zutter. Oh, let me zoom back out. My Zutter, and this is a 3/4 inch. I decided to go with black rings, so that it tied everything together. So let me just zoom back in and show you close up. So that's what it looks like. I think it's really cute. I know I'm going to keep adding to it throughout the year. So I have, and the reason I use 3/4 inch is because, as you can see, the pages that already have fortunes on them expand just a little bit, so I have some room to grow. And if I find that it's getting a little too bulky, I can pull some pages out. I could just snip the edge of it so that they can go back in. Or if I need to add more pages, I can always cut out more pages and then cut them right there and just slip them in. But there you go, that's it. I think it's pretty stinking cute. Wish me luck. This way, if I ever need to get a little inspiration, I could just look through these and or have a good laugh. So, and the only thing that I did on the back is my personalized stamp, little tree, and the tree is from a little punch that I got, punch set, and I did the circle in silver and the little, like, the tree of life in black. So there you go. There's my finally finish it Friday Funbits project. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Don't forget to thumbs up. It's free for you and it helps me out. And if you want to see the full list of all of the products that I've used in this project, they'll be listed on my blog with a link below. As always, thank you so much for watching.